We will now call up to speak Genevieve Mitchell from the Carl Stokes Brigade. Miss Mitchell, are you ready? Genevieve has fought in this community for equal opportunity for a long time. She's a former mayoral candidate and a former East Cleveland School Board member.
Cleveland School Board. Yeah, push that. The middle? Yeah, the last. Okay, thank you. Yes. Yes. The Poor People's Campaign for Economic Human Rights is a national justice movement that will hopefully begin to expand awareness, dialogue, and action as public policy relates to people's civil and human rights. Over the last 3 decades, we have witnessed a politically invasive erosion with regard to social issues pertaining to national health care, allocation of the nation's economic resources, social welfare, the environment, human services, civil liberties, and human rights. That's right. Woo! There has been an unorthodox mandate on the part of multinational special interests, which has locked out millions of American citizens from the nation's hospitals and health care centers. Foreclosures have ravaged our neighborhoods with blight, evictions, and decay. We have bailed out Wall Street and left Main Street looking like Louisiana's 9th Ward. Right. Look around. This is Cleveland. This is not Louisiana. Right. America has a national education system which continues to academically marginalize black, brown, and white poor based upon subjective criteria of race and socioeconomic status, where the nation's poor children leave the public school system for the nation's prison system. That's right. We have seen fit to expend billions of American tax dollars to guard people in prison instead of graduating people from Princeton. Corporations close and jobs dry up, but there is never a limit on permanent full-time jail jobs. I submit to you that at-risk children and youth are the product of at-risk leadership that fails to prioritize their value, limiting their innate academic capacity, and building economies of scale based upon attrition-based economic systems. The Gulf oil spill and Wall Street collapse bear witness to the greed, stupidity, and wanton disregard for ethics, integrity, the environment, and the economic and physical well-being of our planet and the American people. The escalation of military conflicts in which the United States is engaging further erodes economic, international diplomatic relations, depletes efforts toward lasting peace, advances militaristic tyranny, and fuels terrorism, creating instability around the globe. The political climate which we are aggressively pursuing does little to create a global community that is predicated on mutual respect for human life, the environment, social advancement, and peace. Those initiatives are human initiatives. Pressure to institute a new paradigm must emanate from the people themselves, from the roots, from the grassroots, the people at the bottom. There is no compunction to change the status quo. That will emanate from those who derive, that will not emanate from those who derive majority benefit from the prostitution of the underclass and the most politically vulnerable. Our nation's schools will change when change is demanded. Our nation's economy will change when change is demanded. Our nation's reliance on prisons and punishment as an excuse for failed leadership with respect to creating a dynamic economy which transforms people's lives will change when change is demanded. Legal protection for jobs, our teachers' jobs, wages, workers' benefits will come about as a result of people's dissatisfaction with the current state of political affairs. New paradigms of political leadership will evolve when people demand the changes they seek. It's not enough to vote, then expect and assume that the political workload has shifted. The ballot provides only political access, but the voter is the catalyst. The voter is the watchdog. The voter is the change agent. We must be ever vigilant. Vigilance is the eternal price of freedom. Poverty, war, prisons, miseducation, foreclosures, homelessness, unemployment, crime, drugs, violence are the byproducts of people's political inertia. It is up to us to change our world and nation. It is the people's burden to modify or deter tyranny, to recommit, to reinvent, to reinstitute logic-based public policy that provides our nation and its people with heart, health, and healing. That choice is ours to make. Thank you.
Whoa! Thank you there, Barbara Jordan, Jr.